Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's Friday afternoon, a little bit later start today for work. I'm going to have a shave now and then I'm going to try and actually get an hour's sleep or so. I've been up early working today as well, so I need a little bit of rest before I go back to work. But I'm going to knock this shave out of the way just now. I'm going to be using Grooming Department Basique, which is the vegan base from Grooming Department. And it's supposed to sort of imitate sawdust. I do actually get a woody sort of sawdust piney scent from it. It's quite sweet. It's a phenomenal performing soap. Phenomenal. It's up there with the best. And you get a good sized tub of it and it's just great. Great performance, great lather, great slickness. Right, now, the brush for today. One of the guys that follows the channel, and I keep in touch with him quite a bit, Timmy Chestnut, was asking about the Silvertip from West Coast Shaving. So this is my West Coast Shaving Silvertip. So it's just been soaking in the mug while I've been in the shower. As you can see, the tips on this are lovely. That's the handle. Now this is from the Psychedelic range over at West Coast Shaving. They're still available. They are normally $80, I think is American. They're at the moment 63 or 64. So if you grab one, it's free shipping, and I think at the moment you get something like 3 shaving towels as well. So for 64 bucks, you get pretty good bang for your buck. The handle's beautifully made, well turned. There's no turning marks or anything on it, nothing. And then you've got the carved, you probably can't see it, but on here it's got West Coast Shaving carved in there with a little logo and everything. It looks great. It's a really well made resin brush, and the knot's superb. Now it is Silvertip. It's a lot of backbone in this knot. It's densely packed and it works like an absolute dream. So straight into the soap. I haven't used this Grooming Department for a little while now. What I'm trying to do at the moment is, because I've done my Noble Otter Holy Call, sorry, okay, let's get this straight now. Okay, so the pronunciation of K-A-W is call, but the guys that rebranded for Sri Ram, who is the owner and maker of the soaps inside those tubs, they couldn't get the domain name for Holy Cow. C-O-W, as in the cow. So in their infinite wisdom, the rebrander thought, I'll stick a picture of a cow or a bull's head or whatever on there, and that'll change the word call into cow. Now, as much as I don't, the word's still call, but it's meant to be cow. So I shall swallow my pride, and if that's what it's meant to be, that's what it's meant to be. I shall call it Holy Cow from now on. Obviously with a bit of resistance. But yeah, so that's that. So Holy Cow still doesn't sound right in my head because the spelling's in my head, but Holy Cow, Ariana and Evans, Grooming Department now, and I don't know what my next one I'm going to move on to. I'm trying to sort of move through soaps where I've only got 1 or 2 of them at the moment that are still very high quality, just so I can sort of compare them all to each other. I'm trying to basically make a top 5 or a top 10 list. Right, so this brush is caked, absolutely caked. I've got no doubt in my mind that it's going to make an amazing lather, because it always does. I haven't had any issues with this brush. It's one of my favourite lathering brushes in the natural hair section, and on very, very rare occasions, a synthetical. It's pretty much, in my eyes, even though this is a natural hair brush, it's as good as most, nearly all of my synthetics at creating lather. Scent strength on this out of the tub, it's a good sort of, it's a good 4, 5 out of the tub. Once you've actually got it on your face, it's quite strong. It's around about a 5 or a 6. Now it is a very mono, I don't know how you would call it, it's not monotone because it's not a noise, but it's a very singular scent. It smells like sawdust, smells like wood. There's nothing else really going on, but the scent lingers. This weighs a ton. I've loaded this really heavy. Oh yes. So if you are in the market for a vegetal base, you don't want to use animal byproducts or anything like that, any animal products at all, this stuff is incredible. Just painting some water in now. Now as I'm painting this, I'm not feeling The brush tips, the tips on the knot are just so soft. Feels very much like a synthetic on your face when you're painting. There's no real there's nothing from it. It doesn't give you much feedback in that regard. But the face feel, it's got loads of backbone. It creates an amazing lather. Wait till you see this thing when it's finished. It releases the lather as well, really, really well. It does not hog lather at all. You can see it all growing in the bottom of my neck already. Very, very thirsty soap. It loves water, absolutely loves it. Now my knot was quite wet when I started. I've added some more in already. I don't know whether I'm going to need any more because this lather looks incredible. For me personally, I've tried a lot of vegetal based soaps. Some people call them vegan. This one for me is as good as pretty much every tallow based soap on the market, and in most cases it beats them. The only ones obviously that I find that are probably better and sit above it are the Ariana and Evans, probably Barrister and Mann, Noble Otter. That's about it for me. Everything else is just a pretender when it comes to sort of this really top of the line performance. Everything else is just below them, and what you get, this is still a bit dry. Right, I'm going to stick with it at that, otherwise I'll be making enough lather for 20 passes. Now I will mention right now, so far just using this soap right now, it lathers easier than Noble Otter, which was my #1 for ease of lather. So it just goes to show you I've got soaps in the den that I've used for a little bit that are better in some regards than what Noble Otter is, and it's a very easy soap to lather. This one's even easier. If you're struggling getting any sort of quality lathers from your soaps, grab some of this. Look at that. Natural hair brush as well, which that's the bit that surprises me most with this brush. I can make a lather as good as any synthetic. It feels as good as any synthetic. It's densely packed, it's soft, it's got backbone, it's a phenomenal brush. And for 64 American, you'll not get much better than that really. The knot for me is exceptional. So here we go, the Karve razor again. Christopher Bradley razor from Karve. I've just got a real good rundown now what the company's all about and everything. I'm putting together something for West Coast shaving, and I'm also putting it together for myself. I'm actually going to do a bit of a video just on this razor because it's really blown me away since I've started using it. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Have I forgot to put a dot in for the last one? I think I've used this 12 times now, this blade. This spoiler blades, Gillette Super Stainless from the 80s, I think these ones are, vintage blades. And I think this is the 13th use on it. Might be the 12th, but I think it is the 13th. So here we go. Now I was experiencing yesterday one side of the blade being a little bit less smooth than the other side. I can tell you right now it's not the case with this side. What I've done is I've flipped the blade upside down since yesterday, so obviously this side, shaving for some reason, super smooth both sides. What a razor this is. What a blade as well. Right, residual slickness. It's really good. And I put a lot of water on there, so that's really diluted what's on my face and it's still super slick. Right, here we go, lather number 2 with the tie-dye pink psychedelic brush from West Coast Shaving with the 24mm densely packed Silvertip knot, which feels, if I'm honest, it's probably maybe even the best knot in my den. And I've got some lovely badges now. I've got my Morrison Thorns ring, I've got the finest 2-band finest from Magart Razors, which is actually a very nice one. I've got a 2-band finest or 3-band finest, whatever it is, from Golden Nib, which has got gel tips but very, very floppy, not dense like this. I've got my bows, which are lovely, but this, to be honest, out of everything I've got in the den knot wise, natural, this one beats them all. And at a very, very good price point. I'll just dip the tips again. Look at that. Cannot grumble at that. Scent, like I said before, the scent's still there, you smell it pretty much all the time. It's a nice scent, nice woody scent. It is pine sort of scent. So if you're not a fan of pine wood or sawdust sort of smells, it's probably not for you. But the soap base, you can't fault the soap base. This is so slick, this soap base. The Karve razor is just sliding over my skin, melting the hair off. So good. Right, I'm going to empty the sink out here because there's so much lather created with this. The water is just full of lather. Not too much here because I've only got 24 hours growth. Yeah, the chock is full of lather. Now, residual slickness is great on this. It's not as good as Noble Otter, it's not as good as Holy Paw. It doesn't have that same density on the residual slickness where you can feel it, but it is super slick, super smooth. But one thing I will say with this one is it's probably not quite as oily feeling, the actual residual slickness. This one feels a lot less oily. So for those of you out there that struggle with oily skin or anything like that, this soap's probably better for you. So here we go, I'm just going to do the tips again. See, like I say, this brush just doesn't eat lather. It whips it up easy. The soap can take the water quite comfortably, very comfortably. Now you don't need to obviously whip a lather up like this for 1, 2 and 3 passes. Your last pass can be very, very thin because you're really looking for slickness then rather than cushion. But I just enjoy the experience of making a lather now. This could actually take more water if I'm honest, but I'm going to cut it shortly. There really is synthetics out there. In fact, I would probably even say that this lather's like a synthetic. As easy as a synthetic and creates as much lather as a synthetic, if not more. It's amazing. The blade, 12 or 13 uses, I'll need to double check, I'm pretty sure it's 13, and it's just, it feels brilliant. I was a little bit, not worried obviously, because what I paid for these blades works out at roughly, I think about 85 cents Australian per blade. Is that right? Yeah. So for 10 shaves, I'm getting 8.5 cents a shave. So good. Yeah. It's just amazing. Right. Now, one thing this one does excel in, and it reminds me of a lot, straight after the shave, the post-shave feel once your skin dries, feels very much so like if you use Wickham Soap Company aftershave balm after you shave. So this stuff is so moisturising that it feels like you've used that balm. It leaves your skin feeling that real sort of silky smooth, sort of satin effect to your skin. Feels almost like a similar sort of feel if you run your finger over the top cap of the Karve razor, that sort of matte bead blast effect. That's what your skin feels like, super smooth but super hydrated. Really, really nice. Just rinse this soap out. Now, I've used this grooming department quite a few times and it hasn't really budged much in the tub, if I'm honest. It's pretty much at the same level it was when I started using it, so it loads really heavy without using a lot of soap as well, which is great. Finishing off today with some that feels incredible. I think I had a tiny little weeper there, it looks like it's healed up, but once again another full shave, 12, 13 shaves from my blade in the Karve razor. My skin feels great, it's lovely and soft, I've got no nicks, no weepers, no cuts. And here we go. Super, super light little bit of feedback from the Theas, nothing, just that nice little, very, very light burn. Like, I almost barely feel it if I'm honest. Nice scent as well from the lemon. Grooming department. I've got the shakes here from the coffee. Basique. As you can see, the whole thing there is pretty much just a section of wood. And it's a vegan base, or vegetal base, however you want to call it. It smells great. It smells exactly like it should. Nothing like the one I had before, which was awful, which lathered great but just smelled awful. This one smells really nice, crisp, fresh pine scent. The brush, there's the knot on it, look at that knot. Absolutely beautiful. So it's a 3-band Silvertip, and it is densely packed. It is a very dense brush for a Silvertip. That's me, I'm squeezing quite hard there, and it doesn't really, you know, it just is an outstanding little brush. It's great to hold, it's great to work with. It releases the lather, you've seen it, I can't talk about it anymore. Great little handle, lovely colours, perfectly turned, there's no markings or anything on it. The engraving on it's great, and for 64 bucks with 3 shipping in America with 3 towels as well, you cannot go wrong with that sort of value. So definitely one, in my opinion, if you're looking for your first natural hair brush. I'm no expert by any means. I've got a lot of nice natural hair brushes, but for me that's probably the best knot I've got in the den. As an overall brush it's not, because I prefer my custom handles and things, but it's as close to a real custom brush that you'll get in terms of buying it off the shop. There is no other brush like that in the world, because they're all different turned handles, they're not exact the same. So this one is still unique, so essentially you're still buying a custom brush that you'll only have one of. Fair enough, there's loads of them that look like it, but your one will be unique. So definitely for me, amazing bang for buck. Just such a lovely dense knot, it really is. The razor for today was the Karve, once again. This razor just does not cease to amaze me. I just absolutely love using it. It shaves better than anything I've ever used from way back when I started shaving when I was about 13. It just blows everything away that I've used. And once I get these plates, these extra plates, when they do finally get you, which I'll be waiting a lot longer than everyone else, I can assure you right now, because I've just told them not to send them until he dies down a bit. And it's just blown me away, it really has. I cannot stop picking it up and using it. Even when I'm at work, I'm thinking about my next shave, which sounds really sad and crazy, but it's true. That's how much I enjoy using this razor. But anyway, so that me done and dusted. Finished off with Thea's Lemon Witch Hazel. Really nice scent on it, lovely stuff. It does help, sort of soothes the skin, softens the skin, and that's all I'm going with today. I'll put some splash on before I go to work. That's me done and dusted. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. Amazing products. Once what a shave. It's just, I can't get a bad shave with this razor. I really can't. Can't emphasise how good it is enough. Stay safe, drive safe, fly safe. Don't drink and drive. And I'll catch you guys for the next shave. Cheers.